So this is the whole brain which is covered by the outer meningeal layer which you are able to see, that is dura mater. So dura mater covers the whole the brain from outside. It is the outermost layer. As we know that the dura mater has got two layers, that is outer endosteal layer. This is outer endosteal layer where you can see the vascular markings of the meningeal vessels, and then it has got the inner layer that is called the meningeal layer. This layer, both the layer, they are fused with each other, and as we see it, this is the brain without any meningeal layer. The pia mater is there which covers over here and we cannot separate it out. Arachnoid mater, you can, if you want to see, you can see it over here. See, these are the shiny thin layers. These are the arachnoid mater, what you can able to see. These are the parts of arachnoid mater. This is what you can see, the arachnoid mater over here also. Now we'll concentrate on the dura mater. As you know that the inner layer, meningeal layer, will form the four folds of the dura mater. That is, we can say the one which lies in between this, both the cerebrum hemisphere, that is right half and the left half, and it is known as falx cerebri. So this sickle shape area, what you are able to see is the fold of the meningeal layer which of the dura mater which forms this anterior-most part. It attached to the crista galli of the bone. So this is the crista galli, as you see in this bone. This is the crista galli, and here the anterior-most part of this falx cerebri is attached. So this is how you can see how the sickle shape fold of the falx cerebri is. The superior margin, which is the attached margin, which is attached to the interior of the vault of the skull. The inferior free margin, this is the free margin. This superior margin, if you see it clearly, see over here, this is the area where the superior sagittal sinus lies between the two layers, the superior endosteal layer and the inferior one, the fold formed by the meningeal layer. And this is the inferior free margin, in which relation the inferior sagittal sinus lies. Now, near the base of this crescent, it is attached to the structure what is known as tentorium cerebelli. So this is what I am showing you is the tentorium cerebelli. This portion is tentorium cerebelli. This portion, it forms a tent shape. If you can see it from inferiorly, this is how the tentorium cerebelli looks inferiorly. This is the attached margin which is attached over here on the superior petrosal, superior border of the petrous temporal bone, and this, the crescent, what you can see U-shaped portion is the free margin, and this free margin is ultimately attached over here on the anterior clinoid process. So this is how the tent-shaped tentorium cerebelli, what you can able to see. So the base of this your falx cerebri is attached on the superior surface of the tentorium cerebelli where the straight sinus lies, and on posterior aspect this straight sinus as well as this superior sagittal sinus and the inferior sagittal sinus, all these ultimately they attach over here. What is the area in relation to the internal occipital protuberance, what it forms the confluence of the sinus over here, because from here the blood will ultimately go to the transverse sinuses on either side. Now the another fold, that is the smaller crescentic fold. This smaller crescentic fold, it is known as the falx cerebelli. This portion lies in between the two hemisphere of the cerebellum. This is your occipital pole of the cerebrum, and this is your cerebellum. In between them, here this is the area where the tentorium cerebelli lies, and in this relation between the two hemisphere of the cerebellum, you have got the another falx, or you can say the meningeal fold, that is known as falx cerebelli. So this is the area where the falx cerebelli is located. If I show it in the bone, it is this area where the falx cerebelli lies. In the falx cerebelli, you have got the you have got the occipital sinus. So if you see this, the blood from the superior sagittal sinus will go ultimately onto the mostly on the right transverse sinus as it is shown is this bone. We can show the location over here. From there it goes to the sigmoid sinus and then it ultimately ends into the jugular vein, that is internal jugular vein. So this is how, once I am also again I am showing you that this part of the area, that is falx cerebri. This is the tentorium cerebelli. This one, the tent shape. This is the free margin of the tentorium cerebelli. This is the attached margin. This one as well as this posterior margin. This whole is your attached margin which gets attached over this area. And then you have got this falx cerebelli.